Hey, hey, it's Dr. Dawn, you guys, and today is Mystical Monday Live, and we're going to be discussing the year of the fire horse. I was supposed to go live, but you guys, I've been having so many technical difficulties that going live just wasn't an option tonight. I guess the energy was working against me in that respect. But guess what? I'm going to get on this here and record what I was going to say to you guys live. And I still want y'all to chat it up in that comment section when you watch this replay, okay? Because we're going to get this information tonight, out tonight. Let me rewind now and start back over. My apologies again to TikTok and YouTube. Technical gift difficulties and glitches all over the place. We got this solar eclipse happening and the beginning of the year of the fire horse. It's a lot going on energetically on the planet. But as I said, we're going to go ahead and get through it. All right. So, what do we mean by the fire horse, honey? First of all, I am Dr. Dawn, you guys. Okay. I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. Y'all know who I am. I got to get back into my rhythm and my flow after dealing with this computer for the last 40 minutes. I'm breathing into it, get myself back aligned so I can get y'all this message and this information. When we talk about the fire horse, depending on what your belief is, what path you've chosen, or where you are in your awareness and evolution, you may be tapping into the energy of the solar eclipse, which is happening today, or the year of the fire horse. Either one, either way, same energy working through you, for you, moving you along your path. According to like different meanings across different cultures and generations, the last fire horse, this ain't the first time we've had a year of the fire horse, but it will be the first time that we use the energy from the year of the fire horse in this way. See, the year of the fire horse occurs every 60 years, with the last time being in 1966. You got to realize that when these things happen, although they repeat with different energies, different purposes, and different outcomes when they occur. And so this fire horse carries a little bit of a different meaning across this realm, because this energy it's previously been linked to just like visibility, increasing visibility, your confidence, strong emotions coming to the forefront and to the surface. But this time, this fire horse energy is very closely connected and linked to disclosure. Yeah, y'all. It's linked to disclosure. See, in the past or up until now, a lot of people have looked forward to disclosure as it relates to seeing and interacting and connecting with alien beings or species from other planets. Everybody has like focused on that aspect of disclosure. But as we talked about last week, disclosure is taking place all across the media and in our personal lives. And so now that this energy is coming through, the disclosure is going to be more imminent, meaning it's getting ready to put things in your presence and your experience and your awareness to see what you're going to do now that you know this information. So you've had the excuses before that you didn't know because this information was hidden due to the frequency, the energy that surrounded it. But now it's all being laid out, and you got to choose which path, which direction you going once you get this information. See, this time, okay, with this disclosure, you guys, it's going to result in you kind of putting plans into action, as I just said, or making some moves, as I just mentioned before, determining which way you're going to go. But before you can do that, we got to review, we got to recap, we got to like dive into the foundation of this entire spiritual essence and experience, because you can get lost as we're moving along this trajectory if you let go of the fundamental concept that you are in a simulated reality at all times. I don't care what you're doing in the reality. I don't care if you are moving from a place of the spirituality concept of increasing your frequency and awareness and moving into the fifth dimension. Guess what? That's still a reality, a simulated reality taking place. It is a program that you're choosing to follow, that is focused on higher frequency spirituality and evolving beyond the systems that you've previously been in. See, don't get confused or don't get things misunderstood just because the game and the context is changing somewhat. It's still a simulated reality. See, I remember when I went to play virtual reality with my nieces a couple of years ago. You, when you get to the place, you get to choose which game you want to play. Do you want to do the zombie game? Do you want to do the carnival game, the program in the virtual reality? Like, you get to choose which game you're gonna play, which sequence you're gonna play in the simulation, and put that headset on, and you play. That's what you're doing. You're still doing that, but you're doing it now. Now that you're aware that that's what you're doing, now you get to choose which way you're going to go and how you're going to do it. So let's do a little bit of a review. I'm going to play a video that I want you guys to really, really listen to, because as we get a better connection, awareness, and understanding of the simulated reality, this year of the fire horse can work to your advantage, because you now gonna know how to use this energy to assist you with your evolution. So let's watch this video, and then I'll come on back and we're gonna talk about it.
This Jeffrey Epstein is just right here. He's with the We Fool You. Do you guys? All right, so I know the media is making Jeffrey Epstein feel like the biggest villain of all time, but the truth is, Jeffrey Epstein is just right here. He's with the We Fool You. Do you guys see that? The words all the way on the right? He's only right here, okay? What we need to be worrying about is this up here, okay? This is the real problem, but we're going to get to that. I'm going to break everything down. So, first things first, we are all on the bottom, okay? We keep this whole game working. So if all of us people, and I need y'all to repost this, share this to everybody you know, if all of us people decide to not do anything, we don't show up to work, we don't pay taxes, this whole game crumbles. So even though we're at the bottom, understand that we keep this whole thing going, right? Above us, with the We Eat For You, that's the celebrities, the actors, the all the people who are in media, right? Okay, so they're there to make us chase the money. They put it in the movies, in the music. It's money, money, money. Chase the money, right? Because look at what's on the top. It's all about the money. So we're keeping them like afloat. So once we end this, they end it. Above them is the government, right? The police, the three-letter organization's government. They're right there, and they keep us in our place, basically. And look at it. It says, we shoot at you. No government is here to protect you. And as you see with Jeffrey Epstein, are they stopping the big criminals above them? No, they're not. You see that, right? They're here to control us, the celebrities, the regular people. So really, everybody under the government is on the same team, right? Okay, so now we're going to go above them. Who controls the government? Who controls the police and all the government, right? That's them. This is where Jeffrey Epstein is. You know, these are the people behind the scenes, the bankers, the presidents, the big religious leaders, the pastors that have millions of dollars. All of them are in cahoots. All of them world leaders. They all world leaders, right? All these people, they're corrupt as fuck. They're the ones that are trafficking kids, taking them to Jeffrey Epstein's island and shit like that, right? And then finally, boom, this is where you have the elite families. These are the families that are above all. These families are non-human entities, the 13 bloodlines. Now, the 13 bloodlines, right? What's above them? The money. So all of this is ran on money, but I have to break down the 13 bloodlines a little deeper, because then it's going to make more sense into what we're talking about. These are really what are running the bloodlines. The 13 bloodlines, they believe they're special because they have a special blood, but the real enemy are these things. They blend in with everyday people, but in fact, they are not human. These things control the world. These beings have been amongst us since the beginning of time, but you've been programmed through the school system, which is controlled by the Rothschilds, which is these things. But hold on, look.
Okay. All right. I am going to. Okay. He gave us several tiers, with us, meaning you and I, being at the bottom, the lower tier, and the tier above us being celebrities, okay? Because that's pretty much as far as we've gotten in the past in terms of our awareness, our understanding, and our connection, okay? So if we recognize now that this whole thing is being controlled, okay? It's being controlled, which is causing it to present as a reality, a control reality that is very connected to, and this is why we say simulated reality, because it's controlled and it has a game sequence taking place. Okay. So I never, in all of my talks, you guys, I never go this route when I'm discussing spirituality with you guys and evolution. I never go to this route in terms of what's happening in the big picture with the simulated reality. I've only focused on you guys and your evolution. I've kind of tuned out everything that he just told you guys. I've never focused on it because in my experience and awareness, it wasn't significant. The significance was you guys tapping into your inner selves and light and getting activated so that you can step into an awareness and frequency so that when this information is presented to you, as it was just a few minutes ago, you're more likely to connect and it's more likely to resonate with you because you will be in the frequency to receive it. Does that make sense? See, what he just said and explained in terms of the tears 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you could have heard that and you'd have been like, yeah, right. He crazy. What he talking about? Ain't no aliens or that don't make sense. So there go another conspiracy theory. You wouldn't have been in the energy to understand and allow it to resonate so that you can see the big picture of how that whole hierarchy affects you now in this year of the fire horse. Now, let's talk about the year of the fire horse, which starts today, February 17th, 2026, and goes all the way till February 5th, 2027. It's important that you recognize that span, if you will, of time, even though we don't recognize time, but we got to use it as a reference point as it relates to lunar cycles and eclipses and things like that are going to be happening because, like we said, as above, so below. Because during this year time frame, many things are going to be happening to you in relation to that simulated reality that he just explained to you and where you are in your awareness of what's happening at each tier at all times during this next year. Now, listen, when he got to the top of the tier, okay, and he talked about the 13 families and he talked about where the money is at and how those beings all the way at the top are not of this earth, very reptilian in nature and things like that. Understand that when we're shifting to the fifth dimension, you guys have to recognize those tiers will more than likely still exist, but the players on the tiers are going to be different. Okay, they're going to include you guys now in a more prominent light because the old tier or the old paradigm will no longer be in the same existence, function, and power as it has been. That is the entire essence of chosen ones, awakened ones, star seeds coming here to shift that paradigm. You may still have a paradigm, but it may not be broken down that way anymore. Remember, I told you guys in the beginning of this thing, you are here to change the game. That's what I meant, literally, change the game, because the game sequence is set up the way he just explained. So now we're looking to change the game. How do you change the game? He mentioned you change the games. You can, one way to change the game is by, like, if everybody stop paying bills, because then you mess up the money hierarchy. But look, we're still at many are still at the lower level, lower tier of the game sequence where they're feeding off of your energy. Okay. And so if that is still the case, we're all, no matter how evolved you feel you are at this point, no matter how high you think your frequency is, we're all at some point having to still dabble in this hierarchical paradigm because we're still moving and functioning through the currency system. Yeah, we are. So you guys see, as it relates to spirituality, we have gurus now who are being illuminated, who are coming to the forefront now for exposure, that with information that you may or may not have known about them. Because look, even though they were in the essence of spirituality, they still were immersed in the paradigm that involves money, involves conditions, and beliefs and systems that are in place that they were still participating in, even as spiritual gurus and members of the spiritual community. So, this is why, as we were moving and shifting up to this point, the emphasis was on discernment. The emphasis was on you getting your activated reality, your activations coming to the forefront so that you can be the highest version of yourself at this time, so that you would be able to see through that lens that is guiding you through this transitionary process at this time. Okay. So the year of the fire horse is getting ready to start some changes in you that are directly connected and correlated with the hierarchical sequence. Now, things that you may find yourself experiencing as you go through this year of the fire horse that are going to be directly related to and contribute to how you now see and interact with these processes and concepts in the hierarchy is going to depend on how well you are aware that these things are happening during this year. Okay. You guys, I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to reiterate this again with the year of the fire horse. Increased visibility and courage is getting ready to take place. I told you many of you guys are getting ready to come to the forefront. Many of you guys are not getting ready to be afraid to do that, because it's going to allow you to have increased independence and self-direction. Self-direction is going to be key in this year of the fire horse. You're breaking away from systems that are in place from that tier that you saw on the video. You're breaking away from those systems. So you're going to find yourself being more self-directed in all things that you do. Okay. This self-direction may cause you to be a little bit more impulsive and cause you to react a little bit differently. You're going to find yourself making quick decisions. Okay. Now, the quick decision making there's a pro and a con to this. The quick decision making is going to be good in some respects, because it's going to allow you to shift out of that energy of waiting, of procrastinating, of not being sure and certain. So the quick movements will be good. However, when working with the energy of the fire horse, I want you guys, when you get in those situations where you find yourself having to make quick decisions or thinking about moving quickly, I want you to practice pausing. Practice pausing before making big decisions, because just like the energy is going to come across you to move quickly, when you have big decisions, you move too quick, the results can be not just catastrophic, but can cause you to lose your bearing, if you will, on the path that you're moving forward on. Now, I want you guys, I got to keep going. I'm going to keep going back and forth to this so it sticks. As you're doing these things of the fire horse energy, the tier that you saw in the video is directly related. How you shift and move with the fire horse energy is going to dictate how that tier, those levels, shift and move over there in the old system way, and how it is broken up. Everything you do is directly related to how that shifts over there. The two are parallel at this time. Okay. So, because of this, tightening up your boundaries is going to be very imperative, because you're now going to be establishing, you guys, if you're going to be having boundaries or building walls. Okay. I heard Iala Van Zant mention that the difference between establishing boundaries and walls, and it's very applicable to this energy in this moment with the fire horse. Let me tell you the difference. You know that establishing boundaries means you are in an awareness of the beings or the situations that cause you to be out of alignment. So what do? You still may interact and be subjected to being around these beings or situations, but you now have developed things that limit you or restrict you from following into old paths and measures because you are now in an awareness. So that's a boundary. You still go around these beings and situations, but you are able to function and align in these situations because you have boundaries. Okay. Building a wall means you ain't going around these people and situations. You're not even subjecting yourself to it. You have the wall, which pushes that away from you, and you are no longer entertaining any of it. Now, the reason it's going to be important that you start to look at what you're doing in this manner is because you got to look at, if you have walls that you're building, why do you have the walls built up? The walls may be built up because of some hidden insecurities and unhealed things that you are suppressing that you don't want to bring up. So you just block it and build a wall. It's important that you differentiate between the two, because that paradigm that we're trying to break, that system that we're trying to crumble, is built off of a lot of these hidden characteristics and things that you've suppressed from that system that you no longer want to deal with. So you build a wall and think that you are moving beyond it, but you ain't. You just suppressing it, and you're allowing that system and that paradigm to still have access to you if need be, because you still are in response mode when it comes to certain people and things. This is important for you guys to differentiate, because if you don't, those people, things, and circumstances will make their way right back towards you to keep you attached to the system. So we got to tighten up. We got to tighten up our boundaries. We got to look at our walls, and we got to start doing some internal assessments of where we are and what we're doing. Because in the long run, we're going to need to know this information so that we can respond and move accordingly. All right. You guys are now going to be looking at what independence, being independent, looks like for you. I mean, in every aspect. A lot of you look at independence when it comes to career. Oh, I want to work for myself. I don't want to work in the matrix, in the 9 to 5. I want to, do my own thing, or have my own money or ways to do things. Or if you're single or with someone, you say, "Oh, I don't need anybody in my life. I can be on my own. I love me. I'm happy with just being myself." You got to determine what independence looks like for you, because in this year of the fire horse, you're going to be met with things that are going to come to the forefront and say, "Can you stand on your own? Do you want to stand on your own? If you stand on your own, what's that going to look and feel like?" See, up until now, you guys have been looking for partners and flames and, soul mates and all. You've been doing all that. But now look at what independence may look like for you, if it is an option. See, it doesn't have to be that you're going to be independent. It doesn't have to be, in terms of like relationships and things like that. But it may be that you are now in a place where you got to look at, am I comfortable if I got to ride solo? Am I okay with that? Am I strong enough to do that? See, because the old system and paradigm, the hierarchical system that we have, is set up to where you're always looking for somebody. You're always looking to connect with something. So this year, you're going to be put in positions to see, if you find yourself alone, or even if you with somebody, how are you when you with yourself? Yeah, absolutely. And then once that is aligned, see, y'all got to understand, I'm trying to explain this as best I can. The entire system is built off of conditioned, like, rules that have been put in place, that have been carried down and shared with us generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's not just a matter of you relearning like new information, new ways of doing things. These are literally codes. These are codes that you guys are destroying and uploading and making new. And so everything that we were taught to do, now we're doing the reverse, or we're going backwards a little bit, so that we know that we can break out of the old kind of foundation. All right. See, during this time, you guys recognize that staying connected to people who help you reflect is going to be key. When I say people who are going to help you reflect, Dr. Dawn, all the time, be it with a client, be it with family members or people that I interact or meet from day to day, I'm not comparing myself to them, but I am allowing them to assist me with looking at me more. Okay. I'm always reflecting. Like if I have a client and they say, "Oh, I lost my husband and I'm going through financial difficulties or some," I always think in that moment, "Oh, what would I feel like if that were me? Or how would I respond?" So I'm always finding myself in reflection mode based off of the information that is coming to me. So a lot of you guys this year are going to be finding yourselves surrounded by people who help you reflect. Because although we have been doing our internal work and we've been going within and we've been looking to see kind of where we are in our journeys, and we've been kind of, we were in hermit mode for a long time. Then we were in isolation because we were growing. Then we were in observation mode. We were just looking, and watching. But now it's like we're going to be in reflection mode because you got to reflect because what? That system, those tiers that I showed you in the beginning on the video are all based off of old versions of you. Those old versions are rooted in reflections. You see? So the fire horse is going to help you reflect because in the reflections, you're going to be removing and clearing the old versions. So you're going to have like two sets of things. You're going to have some groups, different groups going on this year for this year. During this year, some people may experience a time of progress. Yeah, or increased motivation. You're gonna be motivated to move and shake and go and do, while others are gonna find themselves facing challenges. Okay, they're going to be facing challenges. You're going to be like, my job isn't like it used to be, or I lost my job, or my relationship is fading, or I'm just not in the mood to like key into my health like I would. Like either way, whether you're facing challenges or you're experiencing a time of progress or increase, both moments, you guys, are designed to move you to a place that is outside of where you are in the system. So either one, they're not positive, negative, good or bad. There are two ways, two opportunities to move you out of the system. What you experience is going to depend on your individual circumstances, obviously, and how you approach decision making. Let me clarify what that means, how you approach decision making. So if you are going back to the tiers that we saw in the beginning, if you are at a place where you still or you desire visibility and influence and almost like celebrity, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you move into that with the focus and the goal of what it has been in old versions, which is I want the money, I want the fame, I want respect, I want people to look to me or come to me. Be prepared. Be prepared of how that may show up in your reality, since the reality is trying to shift the old ways that we looked and did things to another direction. So if you did it that way with your anticipation goals to be that similar to the old paradigm, like I said, visibility, celebrity, money, respect, you feel like you're getting all that from it and you're looking to establish that, you may be met with some challenges to get you to see if this is what you want to do, it's okay, but it's going to come with a little bit of resistance because energetically we're trying to like kind of knock that down. Okay, let's use the same example. You say, "Oh, I want the visibility. I want the comfort in having financial stability. I want to be able to be in a position to share information with others. And I want to collectively be able to, move people to a higher frequency and get them into an awareness of their self. But I need the resources and the visibility to do it. I would desire the assistance to do it." So you may experience a little bit of progress and increase motivation. Because look, that fire horse energy is saying, okay, go, 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 visibility, visibility, go, go, go. Get people to move more into their path and purpose, help them to be motivated, help them to move and seek. So you're using the fire horse energy, you're aligning with the fire horse energy, so it may not be met with as many challenges. You see, you got to use and work with the energy. That's the whole thing. Or else you'll be met with resistance. Period. Okay? For many of you, and I want to just say this, I showed that video very briefly in the beginning of this video, and then I kept moving into the fire horse. And the reason I did that is because that's not my mission and purpose, to focus so much on the constructs of the physical reality, our political system, educational system, healthcare. Like Dr. Dawn will just mention that, but I don't really focus on that aspect. You have beings who are here to do that, such as the young man who's on the video. We all have missions and purposes and why we're here. That's not really that doesn't align with me and my mission and purpose, but I needed to use it as a point of reference to help you guys tie it into what it means to the year of the fire horse. Okay. So I just wanted to say that because you guys may be like, oh, she just kind of glazed over that. She didn't really talk about that diagram, too much. Well, that's because that's not where my emphasis is for you guys in terms of the mission and purpose that I have to share with you for your evolution. Okay. Not that information is insignificant. It's just not my thing to contribute to the collective. All right. Just want to be clear on that. All right. Now, I want many of you to ignore your current reality. I know that's hard, but I want you to ignore it because I need you to just keep moving. Keep moving and keep knowing that everything that is happening to you right now is happening as a result of you moving out of the simulation, into out of your comfort zone, into the new reality, and following the energy that is moving, that following the direction that the energy is moving you towards, despite how it looks. You have to realize this year of the fire horse means get out of your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone. You are removing, you guys, this year, you got to realize all the layers that have been covering you all of this time, all of the false layers. They're moving. The covers are coming off one by one by one by one, and they're showing you what has always been there. They're revealing to you everything that has always been there, but you couldn't see because you had so many covers on you. But these layers are now being removed. And so you got to realize they're going to be removed at a timely manner and at a certain pace. Because just think, last year this time we were not anywhere near where we are at this moment in terms of disclosure. Everything's getting disclosed, and all the people you thought were one way are now a different way. And for some people, it's disheartening. Some people are getting a little frustrated, a little hurt because they had such high hopes and so much faith in these certain people. But just know, ultimately, this simulation was never it was designed for you to have a dependency on people because they could control you at every level if you did that. But the layers that are being removed are going to show you you were never put here to rely or depend on anybody but you. You were always here to activate, coordinate, and illuminate your light within you so you would know your sovereignty and your power the whole time. But you were distracted by the outside people that showed themselves in different forms that you thought you needed to connect to and to follow their guidance. No, 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 no. See, many of you are still sometimes having the same conversations in your head. See, I have clients, let me tell y'all something. I felt the need to go backwards a little bit to the simulated reality and to make sure you guys understand that, because I'm finding in my Align and Shine program, many of you are still caught up in the old system of maybe of doing things. I've had people ask me, Dr. Dawn, what's the curriculum going to be for the Align and Shine program? I had someone ask me, oh, since the year of the fire horse is starting, this was just yesterday. The year of the fire horse is starting. What should I do to prepare? Now, this person is in a Align and Shine 30-day program, currently completing a 7-day spiritual detox that I, designed and gave her. And she still said, now what should I do to get ready for the fire horse energy? No fault of hers, not a bad question, because in the old reality, you guys are operating from a structure that you learned in school. You finish kindergarten, you go to first grade. You go to first grade, then you go to second. You guys have learned it to be that way in terms of learning things. But when it comes to evolution and evolving, it is not based off of a written plan that tells you what to do first, second, and third. It is based off of your internal awareness, connection, and activation, and your energetic movements that are needed for your soul to move you along the path. So my answer to this person when she said, "What do I do to connect for the year of the fire horse?" I said, "Well, you're on day 6 of a spiritual detox." I said, "Sweetie, you're on day 6 of a 7-day spiritual detox. If you're not in an awareness that you are preparing for the year of the fire horse right now, you're right on the heels of it. You think you just happen to be doing a 7-day spiritual detox the night before, finishing it up the night before the year of the fire horse. You've been getting prepared." See, whenever you guys are led or guided to a program, a book, a person, a television show, a experience, you're being guided to what you need in that moment for what is coming to you in that moment. So that 30-day Align and Shine detox program was the preparation to get ready for the year of the fire horse, so you know how to hit the ground running and move in the direction you need to go to. Spirit never sends you anywhere you're not supposed to be. So you guys have to start making the spiritual higher connection to why you are where you are, why you're doing what you're doing, why you're meeting and interacting with certain people, and why things are happening in your life in this moment, and how this all ties in to what is happening to the quantum collective field. Everything is always interchangeable because you're always in the simulation. You never get out, you never stop, you never move in a different direction. I needed to be clear on that today because I think for some reason you guys would think, oh, we got the transition earth and the new earth. Okay. We got 4D and 5D. Like I'm in the fifth dimension. I'm not in the simulation. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're still in the simulation. You're just playing a different program in the simulated reality. That is what I wanted everybody. If you don't get nothing else tonight, get that. Get that. When you guys do manifestation techniques, yeah, because you want to manifest the life you desire. And for some of you right now, since we're still dealing with currency and money, a lot of you, that is what you're trying to manifest: the money, the currency. This is what you want. Guess what? You are still attached to and like kind of dabbling in that old hierarchical paradigm of what you saw on the video, because what is that based on? What was at the top of it? Money, money. So right now, all of us, we're still on a planet that requires us to have some connection to money and currency. So we all still are pretty much delving into that hierarchical plane, the hierarchical paradigm that we saw in the beginning, that is set up with us being pretty much at the bottom. Us who are not celebrities or in government or things like that. Okay? So be in an awareness. Be in an awareness. The entire purpose of this, because I don't know how to say this without sounding very harshly. The simulation will always exist. You will always be in the simulation as long as you are in this human avatar. The thing, the goal, the purpose that you are moving into now, and that you're going to move into with more clarity with the year of the fire horse, is how to play this new program, this new game, to determine your role in this new program, and to um, understand and be in an awareness of how, like, you're going to navigate in this program as you kind of see or watch it shift, like what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. But the most important thing is to continue to remember it is a simulated reality, so that that will assist you in determining how you respond, what you tune into, and how these things play a part in what you are here to do. So, for those of you who say, I don't know my purpose, or you're still going, I don't know how to start my purpose, or I don't know how to transition into my purpose, that's what this year of the fire horse is going to show you. See, many of you are going to be forced to stop choosing the familiar path that you know and to go in a different direction, a different pattern. We're changing patterns now. We're changing patterns. You guys are making choices now, new choices that are not comfortable. You're getting out of your comfort zone for real in this year of the fire horse. It's time to be uncomfortable. And spirit, source, universe, quantum field is going to make you uncomfortable all this year. All this year. And that's okay. Expect it. Look for it. Anticipate it. Welcome it. Because that's the only way you're going to get out of, and the only way that hierarchical system is going to collapse is if you get uncomfortable. Because, see, you've been comfortable in it. That's how it's been able to exist for so many lifetimes. Many of you are trying to transform while holding on to the old identity. You can't do it. You can't. Even though I just mentioned, you still got to delve in it. You still got to play in it. But now you have to develop a mastery of how to play in it without allowing yourself to be in your old identity, but in your new version. So you got to play in it a little bit in your new version. Now, some people might say, I disagree, Dawn. I'm going to operate from a place of love and light and high frequency, and that game is not going to exist. And then I'm going to ask you, well, do you have to do something for income? Do you have to eat? Do you have to be able to operate in this reality in some way? Do you have to have lights? Do you have to have gas? Do you have to? So you still got to play the fundamentals right now. Or you may not have to have light and gas, but they got some solar stuff. I take that back. We got some things that we're developing. We growing our own food. Okay, I know we doing that. But right now, to do these things that are making this planet more higher in frequency, right now we're still having to delve in the old system to make the new system happen. But the trick, the key, as I told you guys just a few minutes ago, is to not, in the process of doing that, not to allow yourself to hold on to your old identity while you're doing it. And especially, you guys, when we get into manifesting, fine lines, stay into the awareness. We know that we are made for abundance. It's our birthright. It's who we are. It's everything. But just make sure you don't get really wrapped up in how the system used to portray wealth and how we went about getting it, because you'll find yourself going back down the path of, your old identity and getting back into entangled into your old self and the system. See, it's going to get to a point, because a lot of people are trying to improve the program, the old program that we saw in the beginning. Don't try to improve it. let's try to delete it. Let's try to delete it and get rid of it. See, your new life has to exist with a new foundation. And that video I showed you in the beginning was the old foundation. We need a new foundation. But many, depending on where you are and your awareness and what you feel, many of the awakened souls, starseeds, chosen ones, all like many are dabbling or going into the old system with the hopes of changing and restructuring it by bringing their energy and their presence to it. That may be the beginning of it. That may be how it begins, but ultimately it'll be deleted. We don't even need that whole structure. We need a whole new paradigm because them beings that's at the top that y'all saw in that video, the ones at the top that's running it, half human, half, well, y'all know how it go. We need them not to be at the top. Y'all think that's going to change? Y'all think that's going to shift? Because if that shifts, that breaks down the whole paradigm. See, we no longer will be a feeding source energetically. You won't need our energy. You don't need none of that. We change where the top, who at the top. See, if old pieces of yourself stay attached to the new versions of you, you're going to feel restricted and you're going to forever feel as if you're limited. This will always happen when you try to stay safe. When you try to do things that feel safe or try to do things that you feel you can control or try to do things where you don't want to risk being uncomfortable, you're going to always feel limited. Limited translates to stagnation. Yeah. You guys have to be uncomfortable because every time you're uncomfortable, you're breaking the shell. You're collapsing the system. You're moving the energy on those tiers. It's time for you to get a little terrified. Growing sometimes involves you feeling terrified. That's what growth is sometimes. But please rest assured and know that this path is always you. The path is always you. It's always on your terms. All of the turns, the detours, the pain, the things you regret are always the path that you're supposed to take. You're never off the path. No other path exists except the one you create. Now, you can say, Dawn, it is another path on another timeline. It is on another timeline, but on this one, the only path is the one you create. There's no way you can move incorrectly. You cannot move incorrectly. But you can have the fundamental components and reasons for why you're doing what you're doing and where you are moving yourself to assist in this happening. You are all change makers in that system that you saw in the beginning. You are not here to continue that system going in the manner that it has been, or you wouldn't be here during this time. You are here to collapse that system. See, many of you are developing anxiety and you don't even know why. You're developing anxiety because your soul is giving you the heads up that something is coming. And for many of you, you're feeling anxiety. I'm seeing it in my one-on-one sessions, these 30-minute sessions, these check-in sessions. Some of y'all got anxiety because y'all scared y'all gonna miss something. Y'all done heard about this split earth. Y'all see the disclosure happening. Y'all get nervous because y'all don't know what's coming. Y'all don't know what y'all should be doing. And a lot of you feel like you're gonna miss something and that you should be further along. These feelings that you're having now are very closely related to that part of the path that you've mapped out. You're at that point now where your path that you mapped out is calling you to start getting uncomfortable and moving in certain directions that you may or may not be doing. That's why I told y'all earlier, some people this year will face challenges. Others will face like movement and inspiration and motivation, and because it depends on where you are in your ability to move out of your comfort zone and to follow what comes in front of you, to follow what this fire horse energy puts in front of you. The fire horse energy is going to put in front of you the path that you mapped out. Y'all got to be like a river and keep moving. See what a river do? If a river, that water flows, baby, it keep moving and going. If it comes up to a rock and the rock is in its way, baby, it don't stop it. It just go around it. Go around it and keep moving. That's what y'all got to do. You have to tell yourselves, let me keep moving. Let me keep going. I want that to be your mantra for this year. Do it from now to next February. Keep going, keep moving, keep going, keep moving, keep going. Keep telling yourself that. Because as you see that system crumble, because y'all seeing little remnants of it now. Y'all see all these names coming out, all these people, this, that. Understand that disclosure is not going to just happen in the public eye. It's going to happen privately too with you all. Disclosure at your job, disclosure at work, disclosure in your relationships, your different relationships. Everything has got to come out. Everything is coming up. Disclosure within yourself. All of it. All of it. This fire horse energy aligns with disclosure. They go hand in hand. They holding each other's hand right now. Holding it. Walking together. Walking you through it this year. The important thing for you to understand, based on where you are in your awareness, you're here to evolve in some way. Whether you have a set way of doing that or not, or if you're intentionally doing it or not, there's going to be an energy that's going to be pushing, guiding you, and walking alongside of you. Some of you, even though I said you're going to be challenged to see how you are independently, where you are at being independent, because that is a big piece of this. If you can be independent in your thoughts and your feelings, in your connection, then you can be very instrumental in your creation of what is needed and where you're headed as it relates to the system and what you're going, the new program or system that we're going to be contributing to. I hate to say new system because we don't need no kind of system, do we? But ultimately, it'll be a framework, if you will, that is operating on this planet. I want to make sure I take a moment right now. If you are having questions or comments and you're watching this replay, I want you guys to make sure you put it down in the comment sections because I didn't go live. I don't know what you guys are chatting about or what you're thinking. I want to hear from you to after you watch this because I want to see kind of where we are in this year of the fire horse and your understanding and connection to the paradigm and the simulated reality and this energy of the fire horse. I had to make sure I emphasize the simulated reality because I don't emphasize that enough. As I told you before, that's usually not my focus. My focus is on your internal activation and awareness of who you are. See, I wanted to get you to understand and be connected to who you are so that when you get the revelation of this system and all that's being disclosed and revealed about that, you can be in your awareness and see how this revealing of that information connects with you and where you are. Yeah. Okay. All right. I want all of you to be in a place of mindfulness that the fire horse energy, like I said, it's going to make things happen quick. You're going to find yourself thinking quicker, reacting quicker, moving quicker. But now that you're in an awareness that this may be the energy that creeps upon you, I want you to take a moment for the pause in all situations. When you find yourself getting angry, upset, anxiety, anxious, any of that, take the pause, you guys. Make sure you take the pause because the energy is aligned with the pause. In that moment that you get quick directions, quick insight, or quick impulse to say or do or go somewhere, you're also going to get the nudge to pause. Take the pause. Be sure to follow it. That pause could be the difference between you experiencing challenges or you experiencing motivations. That's what I meant when I spoke earlier about some people will receive challenges this year and some people will receive motivations and insights. It's all dependent on how they respond to the directions that they are given. All right. I think we got most of this out tonight about the year of the fire horse. I want you guys to be aware I am currently offering the 30-day Align and Shine program. You guys, it's still going on. It's very much so in alignment. It's in alignment with the year of the fire horse. As I mentioned before, it includes a 7-day spiritual detox plan that gets you ready for getting you into an awareness and connection of methods and modes of aligning, of staying in alignment so that you can see clearly, you can be a clear channel for receiving divine guidance, and you can feel as if you are moving down the path of not just helping to assist with shifting and I don't want to say destroying. Well, yeah, destroying the current system and paradigm, but creating a new path and a new sequence for your soul in this current reality. Okay? That's the Align and Shine program. It is currently being offered with the with the code all caps Align, ALIGN, all caps. When you sign up for Align and Shine, that code will be good until the end of this month. I want to make sure I offer you guys that as a way to assist you in being able to move or participate, if you will, in this program if you feel it aligns with you. If that is not what you need, I also have my Soul Path and Spiritual Discovery sessions. They're 1 hour sessions that are designed to provide insight into your past life, your current life, your future life, honey, some personal growth, to look at some of the patterns you're demonstrating that are keeping you where you are, to give you some cosmic awareness to the connections that you have to the higher realms and to beings that are connected to you. Since we dealing with beings at the top of that that little pyramid we saw at the beginning, baby, the ones at the top, they're not the only ones here. We all have cosmic connections as it relates to who we are because we're spiritual beings first. So that session, the Soul Path and Spiritual Discovery session, is designed to assist you with that for your personal growth. So I encourage you guys, and also for new clients or my old clients, I have implemented last week 30-minute check-in sessions. Some of y'all just need to check in. You need to kind of talk about what's going on, where you are. You need clarity, confirmation, or a brief assistance. We got the 30-minute check-in sessions are back. Y'all go to the website and sign up if you feel like you need it. They're here for a limited time. Limited time. We're going to be doing a 30-minute check-in session. So look to see if that aligns with you and for you at this time. Y'all, this year, the fire horse. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to tell you this. Different times call for different things. This year of the fire horse is very much so going to be just that. It's going to bring heat. It's going to bring fire. And that horse is perfect because we're all getting ready to gallop. Gallop on our way, honey. Gallop, 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 and stop being still and hidden from what's happening in our current awareness. We're getting ready to get out there. And so I look forward to seeing you guys and working with those of you who are in or desire this assistance to assist you during this time. And if not, I'll see y'all right back here for Mystical Monday Live, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube at Discovering Your Inner Light. You guys have been patient tonight. All these technical difficulties, all of this, we still got it in. I'm going to be hoarse for a minute. I got to go like hydrate my throat. It's getting real dry. But I just want to say thank you guys. Hope you watch the replay. Hopefully you guys will come on back next week. Thank you to all my new subscribers here on YouTube. You guys are phenomenal. Again, you are commenting, sharing, hyping the videos. I love, love, love it. Thank you so much. Thank you to TikTok. Thank you to Instagram. Instagram is just going and flowing and growing. So many new followers over there. Glad you guys come on over here to YouTube to support me as well on this platform. You all have been great. Thank you so much to my YouTube family and my social media family. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. And we're going to see what we're going to talk about next week. But until then, y'all take in all this fire horse energy and y'all get yourselves together and let's see what's coming next. All right. I will see y'all next week. Ta ta.